Tony Khan told you he wasn't going to be taking this fucking shit anymore, and he's holding his own talent hostage to prove it.
Wow! You're in the mix with Pro Wrestling Bits!
Tony Khan is done playing games, and in a year where one wrestler after another has forced themselves out of their contract, Tony Khan is no longer watering your greener pastures. WWE may or may not have tampered with former talent, and some seem to be all too happy to jump ship. Amid the onset of the Triple H era, reports began trickling out that multiple AEW stars had requested their release. Back in July, Tony Khan had to remind talent that they have upwards of 5 years left on their contract. And when it comes to forcing your way out of one, Tony Khan said, quote, "Good luck with that." Turns out, with a little luck here and there, a lot of people in wrestling have gotten themselves fired. Especially in 2022, where everybody in wrestling is finessing their contract. Sasha and Naomi forced their way out, Tony Storm, Jeff Hardy, CM Punk is reportedly being bought out, and so on and so forth. But now the gloves are off, and Tony's message to his talent is simple. Sit your ass down! Malakai Black was the subject of release rumors, and of course he took to his IG Live to clear up these hurtful lies. No, brother, I never asked for my release. I've always been happy in AEW. 5-year contract? What 5-year contract?
My contract's not 5 years. My contract's never been 5 years. Again, this is all bullshit. It's all lies.
Malakai Black's got almost 5 years left on his deal. I wouldn't expect to see him going anywhere anytime soon.
One of these men is lying. Find out who on To Tell the Truth, hosted by TV's Anthony Anderson. Black and Buddy Matthews are two former WWE stars rumored to request their AEW releases. Andrade has also seemed frustrated in AEW, and I can't help but notice that all three of these men are in similar situations where their significant others work for the competition.
Hello, this is a courtesy call from WWE. We're reaching out to our former employees just to say hi and make random conversation to ensure their well-being. How are you? Did you see the games this weekend? How's your fantasy football team doing? Are you happy with your push? Do you miss Full Sail University? Again, these are all just random questions out of the sake of curiosity, because WWE cares. By no means is this tampering or any obstruction of the contract process. Your contract is your business, and WWE has no plans to entice former talent to jump ship. For English, press 1. Para Español, aprima dos. For Carney, press 3. To speak with your significant other, press 4.
Welcome to the WWE Conjugal Visit Hotline. Your significant other is busy with a WWE storyline right now, and cannot be disturbed. Of course, this could all change once you become a free agent or by forcing your way out of your current contract, whatever comes first. Goodbye.
Ironically enough, at the beginning of the Triple H era, Tony Khan finds himself in the same position WWE was at the beginning of AEW. Remember when WWE refused to release anybody and even handed out raises to disgruntled talent just to get them to stay? Mike and Maria Kanellis, the Good Brothers were making dollars. FTR was reportedly offered $750,000 to stay in 2020. WWE was shook because competition was here and it was real. Fast forward to Nick Khan's WWE, and half the WWE roster has been pawned off to AEW. If MJF is to be believed, he's got a raise from Tony Khan to keep him from WWE. And despite getting requests, AEW isn't releasing anybody right now. Suddenly, it's Tony Khan who's keeping talent under a bubble wrap because AEW doesn't want to help WWE's momentum. Now Tony Khan is shook. With Triple H in charge and WWE ratings heating up, Tony Khan knows the competition is here and it's real. As much as Tony Khan seems to be feeling the pressure, I like that he's putting his foot down. Tony Khan's leadership has been in question ever since he sat passively like Forrest Gump on a bench while CM Punk recorded the punk rock version of Hit 'Em Up at one of his fake press conferences. There is a perception that Tony Khan does not have the respect of his locker room and a reality that these wrestlers will take advantage of him if he lets them. Tony Khan should stand his ground, especially given the current climate. But with AEW backstage tension finally starting to simmer down, the last thing AEW needs is a locker room with multiple people who do not want to be there. Tony says he's not releasing anybody, but if somebody wants out bad enough, he may not have a choice. When Jimmy Butler was forcing his way out of Minnesota, he pulled up to practice one day, after taking 3 weeks off, grabbed 4 bench players, and beat the Timberwolves' entire starting lineup at a scrimmage, all while cursing out the executives. You fucking need me, Scott. You can't win without me. Right on cue, he was traded to Philadelphia. If Malakai Black really wanted out of AEW, he could have just taken Fuego del Sol and Serpentico and beat the Death Triangle at an AEW Dark. When Ben Simmons wanted out of Philadelphia, he just pouted on the sidelines and refused to practice. Not nearly as many style points as Jimmy Butler, but it did the job because now he's pouting in Brooklyn. James Harden wanted out of Houston, so he showed up to camp looking like James Corden. When Tom Brady allegedly wanted out of Tampa Bay, he did everything from retiring to picking up a phone to talk to the Miami Dolphins himself, but then Miami got hit with tampering charges, so be careful out there, Kings. As much as I agree with Tony Khan for standing his ground, I'm also for athlete empowerment. And regardless of what Tony Khan says, anybody who really doesn't want to be in AEW can force Tony Khan's hand by staying home and, if it comes to it, hiring a lawyer to legally finesse their contract. According to the Pro Wrestling Chinese calendar, 2022 is the year of the Fox, where multiple talent have outfoxed their promoter to get released. Though things could get ugly, it can be done. The WWE and AEW relationship only stands to get uglier the closer we get to 2024, and that's for a myriad of reasons. 2024 will feature many top WWE and AEW stars in free agency. Further juicing the pot, both companies will be vying for increases in their television deals. WWE is all but guaranteed to get a massive increase from NBC Universal, and AEW should too, but their situation is trickier due to the uncertainty of Warner Bros. Discovery. If Warner Bros. Discovery merges with NBC Universal, this is a worst-case scenario for Tony Khan and AEW, because this wouldn't necessarily be a merger as much as it would be a sale of Warner Bros. Discovery to NBCU. That would put NBCU, and for that matter WWE, in a position of power over AEW, assuming AEW is even part of that equation. At that point, it may not matter how many years are left on an AEW contract if they're essentially being signed by Comcast. Will frustrated talent fall in line or get their wish and get released? My fantasy football team is 3-0 thanks to the heroics of Josh Allen and the Denver Broncos defense. What's your record? Tell me in the comments.